Will Kurapika capture Pakunoda? Is the entire plan gonna go awry? Does that mean Gon and Killua are in danger? These are the questions I think are gonna get answered in today's episode. What's up guys, it's Jugget here. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we are watching episode 56, Beloved and Beleaguered. Really not giving me any insight into today's episode. Very cryptic title, meaning I am not gonna waste any more time. We are jumping right into the episode now. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's watch, shall we? I was like, who is that? Who's this new chick? I did not expect Kurapika to be in a disguise, but it makes sense. What did Troupe say? 50 new buildings? That is an interesting giveaway, though, that if there's Nen here, that means they have to be around, even though Troupe's radius is huge. I love to see Killua back in his assassin element. Wait, what was that little thing right there? I'm not putting the pieces together. Oh, are we about to see another ability from Melody? Melody feels very underrated and underrepresented in this show. I'm going to skip the intro, but I'm going to keep talking. I want to see more of Melody's abilities because she seems very powerful. Using the Hunter website. They're dying too. I did forget to mention in my last discussion when I was editing my video, I forgot that little piece of dialogue where, I forget that guy's name, but he's the guy with the dogs, where he was like, I'll be safe here with my dogs by my side. And it's like, yeah, that's a sign you're not making it. He values the ability more than the girl. Yeah, that's his treasure. They're going to be brainstorming to figure out who the hell the chain user is. Meaning that she's after something. What did she buy? Nice. In other words, I'm an idiot. Didn't even think that they'd be wanting to buy something from the auction. Can they figure out what she bought? Because she technically has a copy that Troupe made. They have the real one. His eyes wide. She collects body parts. What are the body parts in there? What does she buy? The Scarlet Eyes. Okay, are they putting it together that easily? They connected the dots like that the chain user is after the Scarlet Eyes? That's crazy. Yeah, ask Troupe. He can sense it from that far away? I thought it originated from himself, not everywhere the Objects are scattered. Oh, no, he found the... Okay. Oh, but he can... Wow. And he can instant... They're like little radar beacons scattered throughout the world. I want to see Nobunaga fight. I need to see something out of him. It's a shame we'll never get to see Uvogin and Nobunaga fight together, but I want to see something out of him. They're like 200 IQ right now. Oh, Chrollo's going? What's Hisoka gonna do? Okay. Their ability to just think on the fly, to adapt, switch things in and out. Oh my god, they're interacting. Melody and Killua. Our little squadron, our team. Hang up and then whisper a command to me. Damn! Her ears. So she'll be able to hear the Phantom Troupe. Exactly who's talking, where they're going, their footsteps. They'll know that they're going to the hotel, what they're talking about. So can't hear, but she knows that they're going. Well, he won't know the hotel, I don't think. But we'll relay it to Kurapika, and Kurapika knows exactly the hotel, obviously. That is a lot. Yeah. For Kurapika to have to ask for help like that. Is it desperation or finally letting people in? I used to be. Estinto. I used to be. His father would not like to hear that. But I want to see more assassin shit out of Killua. I just don't want him to be that type of person, but I want to see those abilities. Melody's all smiles. Killua's the one all worried. Uh-oh. Nobunaga's gonna recognize him. They're like fingerprints, but footprints. They'll recognize Melody, though, too. Because they have the sheet of paper. The guy with the top knot, that's Nobunaga. Kurapika is gonna like to hear that. Black, slick back hair. Man, imagine if he looked back. I can't get over Kurapika's look right now. He's got that shit on, though. I like just taking the train. Casually, just on the train. Now he knows exactly where they're going. This guy. This guy's dead. This guy's screwed. Again, just storytelling 101, where it's like, I'll be here, I'm sure I'll be fine here with my dogs by my side, and it's like, yeah, we're about to prove that wrong. And here we go. I don't think they're gonna show mercy to this guy. Did a dog just unlock a door? Don't kill the dog. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Wait, what's he reading? As long as the dogs don't die, please. He can die. I don't care about him as a character, but would they really show that in this anime? I'm loving this reconnaissance so far. Feels so like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Like some 1970s spy movies. We'll be able to sense his hostility. Interesting. I didn't think about that. I know that's a thing, but I didn't think about that. You have to distract him. Half a second, a full second would be even better. Hey, keep it. I forgot. He was there too during that entire event. Was he there to witness Kurapika kill Uvogen? I remember he was there when they first captured him. Gon has a good idea, apparently. See, this is where it starts to go awry. I can already see it. They're deviating from the plan. Or, I don't know if it's deviating from the plan. Oh yeah, it is deviating from the plan. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna get fucked up. Gon's gonna run in. Killua's gonna run in. And all these regular people, unaware of the existence of Nen. Ninjas! Okay, well, he just completely abandoned them? Ditch the car. Let's go. Yeah, these people just do whatever they want. And now Gon and Killua are gonna get fucking abducted again. Nobunaga, Pakunoda, Kurta. So, Menshi and Shizuku are staying. Uh-oh, using Gyo. Right? I think I got that right. Okay. Uh-oh. Menshi will recognize Gon. Oh, so would Shizuku, because they arm wrestled. How is this gonna go down? Oh, Killua's here. That was cool. Those two will recognize. Oh, he's gonna be interested in him because of what Nobunaga said. That stare, he senses something in them. He's a good liar, though. What? Really? We didn't know. Great. They're getting abducted. Great. But that shows just what they'll do to protect their friends. Great. Damn. See, you know, that's a cool shot right there with the lightning behind him. That's a good shot right there. That too. He likes that. Let's hear. Because they have nothing to do with this. I don't like to talk about my motives. The reason is the key to understanding myself. Yeah, what are you talking about? For the leader of the Phantom Troupe, you really can't give a straightforward answer. You had to be cryptic and kind of... You just spouted nonsense. Is that supposed to be the great irony? Hey. Chill. Exactly. Now what are you going to do? You're going to sacrifice your friends for your revenge, or you're going to sacrifice your revenge for your friends? What did I say in my discussion? It's going to be a conflict. Your friendships and your vengeance. Take some breaths. Squala, that's his name. I couldn't remember the name. Oh, great. And Pakunoda's here. Fantastic. He's gonna gain the memories. Are they gonna learn Kurapika from him? He's letting them go. Great. Why don't you just read the memories? Why do you... Uh-oh. But why does he need to answer the questions? Why can't she just read the memories? Or is there a condition that needs to be met? Oh. Never mind. It's just a test. It doesn't matter. They're just toying and playing with them at this point. We already know it. And she knows everything. Does she have to ask the question and that's how she extracts it? Like she doesn't get everything automatically, she has to ask the question and then that's how she extracts the information? And is his head cut off? Yep, his head got cut off, right? Yep, there's his head. Oh, she sensed it? That's still not enough from Nobunaga. I want to see actual combat. Whoa, that's sick. Memory bomb. Wow. That's sick. I wonder if you could use that in a sinister way. Now they know who he is. They're gonna remember his face forever. They know his name. They know his face. God damn. Finally identified Uvogin's killer. Great. All this effort for naught. The final battle draws near. Jesus. So, I was right. Shit has hit the fan. Everything went awry. Kurapika couldn't keep himself undetected. His hostility broke through his inn, if he was even employing inn. And so Gon and Killua, to protect their friend, put themselves out in front of them, offered themselves up to the lions, and will now be going into the lion's den. Both Machi and Shizuku, they would have recognized the two of them, particularly Machi, who the two of them escaped from that first time that they were detained. It was incredibly quick thinking on Killua's part to lie and play it off like they hadn't heard at all that the mafia ended the bounty on them, to make them believe that this is the only reason him and Gon have still been tailing them and following them around the city. But it's too serious now. The Troupe aren't taking any chances. One, if there's even a small percentage chance these two kids here know who the chain user is, they're taking them with them. And two, Machi and Nobunaga both spoke highly of these kids. I mean, these two kids outsmarted and outplayed three of his troop members, Nobunaga, Machi, Pakunoda, and escaped. Especially Nobunaga, who has kept telling Chrollo about the one kid he wants to recruit to the troop. And to have that kind of resolve or hostility flowing out of them as just two kids, to think they could catch the bounty on them, the troop, since that's what the troop would be believing, and they detected this strong force of Nen aura emanating from them. All these things combined would certainly pique Chrollo's interest. See what they're all about. Potential proteges, maybe. And I still find it funny how a good 10 seconds into the episode, I'm looking at this girl in Leorio's passenger seat thinking, who the hell is this new girl we're all of a sudden get introduced to out of nowhere, joining on this mission? And I had to see Kurapika's eyes and hear his voice to be like, holy crap, that's Kurapika? Master of disguise. Jesus Christ. And what did I say last episode discussion? That Kurapika was going to be the linchpin. It's all going to rest on Kurapika if this gets fucked up or not. And that what it's going to come down to is Kurapika's friends in conflict with Kurapika's mission, his vengeance. And here it is. How is it going to go down now? Kurapika doesn't even have Pakunoda, so you can't even do, a hostage exchange situation. You have to tiptoe very carefully in this situation now because two of your friends' lives are on the line. You don't know what the troop will do to gain info from them. Obviously, they'll use Pakunoda, but, the troop, torture, what have you. If she can get back to the hideout before Kurapika gets her. That's what I'm suspecting might happen. The internal conflict between his personal vendetta and his friendships is clear and palpable going into the next episode, because it's about to be front and center stage next episode. Is he going to try and manipulate the situation? Purposely keep the boys in danger? He's not the kind to just, run in guns blazing, or chains blazing, I guess, in this case. He's going to be the one to monitor the whole situation, plan out his moves, all while Gon and Killua are in danger. Not letting that fact hurry him up. He'll remain, cold and calculated and stoic, even with his friends' lives on the line. I see him ignoring Gon and Killua entirely, either thinking, okay, they can take care of themselves. I don't think the Troupe will do anything. I need to get Pakunoda, find her ass, which maybe Melody will help with, and then we can go into a hostage exchange. But he needs leverage, and that's what I think will happen. And I love the reconnaissance from Killua. Him and Melody together, tailing their target. I know Killua said it in this episode that he's not an assassin anymore. He said he used to be. I don't know if we'll ever see that side from him again. So when we get to see slivers of it, like his ability to spy and recon, or run in almost complete silence like Melody points out, I want to hang on to stuff like that. And since I just brought up Melody, I love seeing the handful of new abilities we got to see throughout this episode, both purely physical and also Nen related. Killua scaling the building like he was Spider-Man. We've never seen that before. Not even during the Hunter exam, when that would have really come in handy in certain challenges. Melody and her super hearing. I imagine that has to be Nen related. If she's a music hunter, I think that's what they said she is, or what I would imagine she is. Is that a Nen ability itself, or is that simply employing the fundamental techniques of Nen? Couldn't her super hearing just be her using Gyo to put a certain percentage of aura into her ears? Or if she's more advanced, using Ko to put 100% into her ears? Or is it an actual Nen ability she's developed as a music hunter? Her ability to hear footsteps of anyone and locate them in an practical instant, and even identify them as though each footstep is as unique as fingerprints. That's crazy valuable. An even more powerful and valuable ability to locate people or things in the same vein is Kurapika, though. I thought his N originated from only himself, but the fact that he can touch an object and instantly be connected to the copy he's made, and have his N aura pulse out of that object and practically become a portable radar or a sonar pulse, is insane. I'm sure there has to be a limit to that. He can't just be halfway across the planet from whatever copied object and be able to, Bluetooth connect to that. That would be crazy. But like here in Yorknew, within the same city, however many meters he says his N range is, I forgot the exact number. But I also don't know if that exact number that he stated previously is from himself or from the objects, or both. But like here in Yorknew, with all of the stolen artifacts still in the city spread out, he could essentially have a complete live map of the entire city, like that scene from The Dark Knight when Batman and Lucius Fox harness every single cell phone in the city to get a live sonar feed of all of Gotham. That's what that makes me think of. And we also finally got to see a different Phantom Troupe member show a new ability, with Pakunoda using her memory bomb ability. First of all, her whole ability of reading memories made me think about the fact I have no idea what Nen type she is. Being able to read memories is so niche and so powerful, I never even thought to consider the fact Pakunoda might actually be a specialist, because where else would memory reading fit on the diagram? Neon can tell fortunes. Chrollo can steal Nen abilities. Kurapika can use all Nen types at 100% effort. Being able to read people's memories fits right in there. I don't know why I never stopped to think about that. Or maybe I did. I would have to go back to that episode where we first watch her use it and see if I brought that point up or not. But in this episode, we see her other ability, Memory Bomb. She uses a revolver and conjured bullets to shoot memories into people's minds. I assume that the revolver is real. It didn't have that white glowy aura around it like you typically see on conjured objects, like the bullets between her fingers, but the bullets themselves are definitely conjured. So she can use conjuration as a specialist. They are right next to each other. Conjuration, specialization are directly adjacent to each other on the diagram. So she's 80% proficient, and that makes me assume, I like to think about this too when I look at abilities, that it makes me assume conjuring something like bullets is an ability that can only be unlocked if you're pretty high in conjuration. If it takes at least 80%. So we know Pakunoda is a skilled shooter. She is a marksman. During the Requiem, we saw her dual wielding akimbo pistols. So she's lethal in that regard, but her two Nen abilities really do not offer anything offensive on the battlefield. But I guess that's obviously what the other members of the troupe are there for. She can collect all the information, do all the planning, being able to extract anyone's thoughts and memories. And I did wonder how she shared all of this information, just collecting in her mind. Shooting and injecting them into someone else's head is a lot easier and faster than having to parse through it all and explain everything. And I can assume she can also shoot her own memories into other people. But can this gun in any way be used offensively? I wonder if we'll see that. Even though I think she's going to die, so we don't have any much time to see anything. But can she place false memories into somebody's mind? Can she take away memories entirely instead of merely reading them? Or on a computer, I like to think of it this way. You can copy a file and paste it into another folder, copy, paste. She can copy their memories and paste it into her own mind. If she could cut and paste instead, remove the memory entirely, give someone amnesia or dementia or memory loss, that would be a good offensive tactic for these otherwise pretty purely utility-based abilities. And then putting that aside, we also just saw how physically strong she is too, being able to break Squala's arm like that while interrogating them. I believe she broke his arm. And when Nobunaga came swinging his katana, her swiftness to move out of the way in that split second, she would have had to move out of the way in that moment. Though I think everyone in the Phantom Troupe needs to have some kind of base minimum level of strength and speed, or else he wouldn't survive very long or keep up for very long or be very useful at all. And speaking of Nobunaga, can we finally see something from him already? A single ability at least, please. We've gotten nothing from him this entire arc, and he's like one of the most interesting characters, not just in the troupe, but the entire cast of characters we have met so far in 56 episodes. We'll never see him fighting alongside Uvogin, even though Franklin said back then he was better fighting alone. But can we see him in battle, even at all, please? We've only watched him wielding his katana and cutting through enemies with it. We watched him cut off Squala's head, which you don't even need enhancement to do. A sharp katana by itself can do that. Though I do assume he infuses and imbues his sword with Nen, though I don't even know if Nobunaga is an enhancer. I would obviously assume he is an enhancer. It just hasn't been confirmed yet canonically in the anime I've watched so far. So I'm not, stating it as fact, but I would assume he is, based off his personality as well as utilizing a physical sword in the first place. It's, it's not conjured, it's a physical sword, so he must be an enhancer. It only makes sense. But we haven't seen a single ability out of him. Literally, all we've seen from him is him utilizing N, with the range of his N matching the reach of his katana. I just want more from him. And I also brought up Squala's name. Let's talk about him now. I knew he was done for and that he was done in after that offhand remark he made last episode. Again, that is just storytelling and writing 101. One of those lines or sentences after watching hundreds or thousands of movies and shows, that when you hear a character say something like that, you know exactly what it means, setting up their deaths. I didn't much care for Squala. Besides Melody, of course. I really like Melody. I don't care about the bodyguard characters at all. The girl who could manipulate anyone just by a kiss, she was cool because she had a unique look. She stood out. She was the seductive female character, which played into her ability. And it was cool to see another manipulator out here because we don't see them very much. Really only Shalnark and blah, blah, and Illumi, who we really don't see very much. The guy who writes haikus, I don't care about him at all. And Squala commands a pack of dogs. He didn't get much screen time for me to really see him, so he was ultimately just a background character with a pretty random, eccentric Nen ability I wasn't much interested in at all. But the character development leading to his ultimate demise in this episode was written amazingly. Tragically, what sealed Squala's fate was his decision to take the Scarlet Eyes with him in the first place as he drove off and escaped. He was going to quit the job, but decided not to in that moment. And in doing so, taking the eyes, he got himself killed. If only he had decided to actually quit in that moment, walk away, have that resolve, he would have lived. His death was handled with a level of finesse that mixed both respect and sorrow for him. When he realized his car was surrounded by spiders, he was not getting out of here. You saw that look on his face as he knew, this was the end of the road for him. These are the last moments he'll experience. So he releases his dogs from his command, sets them free. And despite having his arm broken, being tortured, being interrogated by the Troupe, he never gave up a single word about Kurapika. Pakunoda was essentially playing with him. She had everything she needed from him just by touching him. She was only seeing if he would betray his allies or not, and he died. Respectable. That's how you send off a character. A background supporting character too. I'm sure you've seen it and could list plenty of examples. I know I can. A lot of shows, movies, comics, manga, anime can't even write off, send off, kill off their main protagonists, their central characters in the same equal quality fashion. Such good writing here, such a believable way to do it with such natural flow and progression and pacing. Togashi did better with one of his less memorable background supporting characters than most writers do with their key core central characters. I think that says a lot to the quality of his writing. I wanted to point that out. And that's my greatest praise about Hunter x Hunter in general. The quality of writing is incredible, especially in this adaptation, taking the manga and adapting it the second time around here. This York New arc has quite literally been perfect in essentially every regard. Everything is so tightly written, paced, timed perfectly, making perfect use of all the tiny and large details, all the lore, all that exposition that has been accruing and building up through this arc, and then all the dots finally connecting, all the lines converging, each piece and component of the story seamlessly coming together. The story, the plot, everything. It's watertight, airtight. Nothing slips through the cracks because there are no cracks. It's actually absolutely superb. And I want to end the discussion here on Chrollo, the most fascinating scene in the entire episode. You know what I'm about to say. Right as Gon and Killua are tied up and about to be taken, Gon looks up at Chrollo and says to Chrollo, "Can I ask you something?" Gon asks Chrollo, how can he kill people who have nothing to do with him? We've seen Gon ask questions a multitude of times out of pure curiosity. And I'm sure if this scenario wasn't involving his friends, this question would indeed be a simple one coming purely from Gon's childlike curiosity. Hell, if Kurapika, Killua, Leorio weren't involved with the Troupe at all, I think Gon might have curiously and happily chatted with all the members of the Troupe, wanting to pick their brains about Nen, want their help to get stronger, maybe even take them up on being recruited by them. But here it is not the case. We're not in that universe. What we've also seen from Gon dozens of times is him immediately take a side whenever his friends are concerned. Chrollo is a man who hurt Kurapika, his friend. We saw it back then with Nobunaga, getting so visibly and audibly upset over Nobunaga crying and mourning for the death of his murderous friend, while being someone who mercilessly kills countless of people at the same time. I always talk about how one of the most fascinating elements of Hunter x Hunter is the concept that the world our characters inhabit is a morally gray one. It's not the world we live in. But Gon does shine at times as the moral clarity in the world, or at least as clear as morality can possibly even shine in this world, as Gon himself contributes to Hunter x Hunter's moral grayness. But let's get back to Chrollo. I'll quote exactly what Chrollo answers Gon's question with. It might be because they have nothing to do with us. No. On second thought, it isn't that simple. I don't like to talk about my motives. But surprisingly enough, or rather, as I expected, the reason is the key to understanding myself. And before I get into breaking this down, let me just point out the fact that one of the things I absolutely love from the directors, editors of this anime, which might seem minor to others, but is major to me, is not just the choice of music, the choice of sound, but more importantly, the absence of it altogether. During this scene, I was thinking to myself, some moody, slow jazz right around here would fit the aesthetic and the atmosphere so well, but what was even better was that there was no music at all. This is what the writers, editors, directors of Hunter x Hunter, whoever's in charge of these choices, just purely understands. The soundtrack in this anime is amazing. I love it. But what Hunter x Hunter understands exceptionally well and executes exceptionally and uniquely well outside of any other IP is they know when to let the characters stand by themselves, when to let the action stand by itself, and when to let the dialogue stand by itself on their own merits, with nothing in the background, nothing to assist or push or help move along forward. That is something I seriously, and greatly judge in both film and TV here, anime. Not just the use of sound and music and the placement of music, but more importantly, the absence of it. Cinema, TV, anime, comics, manga, art, these are visual mediums and audible mediums. It's a sensory experience. It's not just what you're looking at, it's what you're taking in with your ears. The soundtrack choices Hunter x Hunter makes is great, but the choices of when not to play anything at all is even so much better. There is no music during this exchange between Gon and Chrollo. It is silent when there is no one speaking. You're waiting on every word with nothing but the rain falling, filling in the void. I just needed to point that out because I judge this so hard when watching movies, watching TV, watching anime. Just how many and just how often I think the choice of song or instrumental is completely wrong and should have been something else, or that there shouldn't have been anything in the scene in the first place. Let me hear the characters talk. Let me sit in silence while nothing's going on. Let me hear the ambiance. Let me hear the action itself going on. Hunter x Hunter is 25 years old. I think even more than that. And despite that, I would say it is still too early for any of us, whether you're someone like me who hasn't even finished the anime yet and hasn't read the manga before, or someone like the many of my subscribers, the many of you who are Hunter x Hunter experts, diehard fans, who read the newest chapter as soon as it releases and has watched the anime or read the manga who knows how many times. Like I was saying, it is still too early for any of us to properly, solidly, conclusively say who Chrollo is. I think that's a component of this quote here. I think at this time in the manga, when it was first written, and then, obviously was adapted from that, and probably even now today, years later, if it's never been answered, Togashi himself is trying to figure Chrollo out. Is this just a placeholder dialogue meant for Togashi to expand upon and come back to later if he hasn't already? Is it purely a shallow answer? Is it cheap artificial depth to the character without having, actually take your time and think of an actual storytelling motive behind who he is and what his actions are, just tossing a bone? Has Togashi just not gotten there yet? I don't even know if Chrollo is alive by the time I get to the last episode of the anime and, I have to start making videos reading the manga to catch up. I don't know if Chrollo has been expanded upon or yet. I can only go off what I know right now. If he has, I'll have my answer in the future when I reach that point. If he has not, do you believe Togashi has something in mind for Chrollo? A direction to take him in? Because I am in the same boat as Killua, who said something like, what is he even talking about? I was thinking the exact same thing. What the hell is Chrollo talking about? I can't really decide for myself right now if you're meant to feel that way after hearing him say all those empty words, jargon, gibberish. Like, if that's the whole point, that's Togashi writing that as part of Chrollo, the character, and not just being gibberish writing from Togashi that he just placed in there because he didn't know how or didn't feel like properly answering the question at that time. He knew he needed to fit that in there, but he didn't know what to say at the time. I don't know. Like, is that Togashi writing that on purpose for the sake of the character, or Togashi just writing the best thing he could at the time that, he thought sounded cool or sounded profound or sounded mysterious, and he's like, okay, I'll come back to that at some point? Or is the entire essence supposed to be that the creator and the leader of the spiders doesn't even understand himself, to the point he can't even answer a straightforward question like, hey, why do you kill so many people who have nothing to do with you? You tell me. How do you think I'm supposed to interpret this answer from Chrollo in this scene? Is it not even supposed to have anything to do with Chrollo? Is the whole point supposed to be that the answer doesn't matter? Because why or how would you possibly justify murder? What kind of answer do you want from him? What kind of answer are you expecting? What kind of answer would Gon be expecting or wanting to hear? Would any answer be good enough? And especially in this morally gray world, why are you even asking a question like that in the first place? Is it actually not even supposed to have anything to do with Chrollo? Am I looking in the wrong direction? What if it actually has more to do with Gon, the one asking the question, the one doing the judging, It's not like Gon has been a saint in this series so far. He's watched people die and not blink an eye. He's left people behind to die. He's been willing to kill people, maim people. He's willing to steal. He'll do all of these things if it furthers his progress, and he'll do it unapologetically. So what if the whole point of the question from Gon is that he shouldn't be the one quick to judge for something he himself can't guarantee he won't or wouldn't do himself? He isn't perfect either. He's no saint. He could equally be a killer. He could be an immensely capable, strong, yet ferociously dangerous hunter if he so wanted to be. He is a 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million, or what was it? Once in a decade Gon. And I still have 90 or so episodes to go in this anime, and I don't know how many chapters to read with you after that until I catch up. I don't even know how much I'll have to read and make videos of me reading the manga. There's still so much of Hunter x Hunter to consume. So at any moment in there, in those 90 episodes or those dozens and dozens of chapters I'll read, Gon could become Chrollo, or like Chrollo. The main antagonists aren't always a hero. Aren't always the moral ones. We've seen it several times already. If Gon wants something hard enough, he will justify his means, whatever they are, to reach that end. He is like a Luffy in that he really doesn't much care about anybody if they aren't his friends. I don't even know if he would acknowledge people, as being individual human beings, if they weren't his friends. So maybe the entire point of the scene is not supposed to be the lack of an answer from Chrollo, but the existence of the question in the first place coming from Gon. I'm going to have to keep a mental note of this moment for far down the line, far down the road, to see if this ever becomes important again. See if I ever have to come back to this moment. This is interesting. I want to hear your opinions on that. And I think that is a perfect place to end the discussion here. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button to let me know is very much appreciated. Better yet, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do to keep in the loop here in this community. Make sure you keep the conversation going down in the comments below. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, stay you, have a good one.